Hello, great people. Welcome back to the Shoebox. The podcast isn't a podcast because your jewelry isn't real and most of the sneakers that you buy aren't real. I'm just kidding, bro. Wear what you want. Who cares at the end of the day? They're all man-made objects and we pass on. We go to the afterlife. If that's something you believe in, nothing on this earth is going to go with us. So you might as well do what makes you happy, bro. And I want you to smile every single day. When you wake up, I want you to look in the mirror and give yourself a big smile and tell yourself 3 things that you like about yourself. It's a proven way to build confidence. And I feel like a lot of men don't do that. That's why we have such a low era of self-esteem. People hate themselves now more than ever, but let's talk about something that you love and use to validate yourself, and that's sneakers, right? Sneakers. Today was a big day for sneakers today because the Bread 4 Reimagined finally dropped. This was supposed to be the sneaker of the year. A lot of people got early pairs that probably weren't legit, and some people were able to hit on the shot drop, and a lot of people were complaining about the Bread 4s. There were a lot of quality issues. The leather was cracking, the stitching wasn't right, but this is nothing new when it comes to Nike and sneakers, right? Because they have been doing this for years. Guess what? It's a product that's made over and over and over again. And sometimes you're gonna have some bad cookies in the batch. That's why they make a baker's dozen, right? But you got the 13th cookie that the baker did not want, aka those crap sneakers that are currently sitting in your closet that you don't want to wear. Just return them, give them back to Nike. Don't feel like you have to own something just because it gives you some validation, some confidence boost. If somebody screws up the thing that you spent a lot of money on, you need to immediately, expeditiously, as my boy T.I. would say, you need to give those things back and return them and get your money back. But let's go ahead and talk about today's release with the Bread 4s. The stock numbers were looking good. I saw a lot of people live streaming, go ahead and copying their sneakers. A lot of people were able to go into the sneaker stores like Finish Line, Foot Locker, and pick up their pairs, which is great. Honestly, like I said many times in the past 2 episodes of the Shoebox, these are new. They're made out of leather. They're able to resist the rain, the water, the tears that may drop off your face. No liquid will get absorbed into these sneakers whatsoever. And I believe that these sneakers are not going to be sneaker of the year. I've said it a lot of times, and I think now that finally the anticipation for these sneakers has finally washed away. Like the rain cloud that was over the sneaker world has finally cleared, and we're able to see a brighter day. The Bread 4 has reignited the sneaker game. The income tax checks are coming in. People will be buying a lot of sneakers, and the question is, will these live up to the hype? Honestly, I think now that people finally got their pairs in hand, they're finally able to get their hands on something they dreamt of for years. I think a lot of people are going to be like, okay, I got this, and what's next, all right? These were a really early release of the year. I'm not hating on the Bread 4s. A lot of people call me a D1 hater, and I accept the label. But we have to really look at things for what they are. We're in February. It's the second month of the year. We are 1/6 of the way throughout the year, and a lot of you guys gave up on your New Year's resolutions, but that's a different topic for a different day. But we have to look at really what is ahead, right? Now that you got the Bread 4, you're going to get like 12 more sneakers this year. There are more sneakers coming out, and I am not going to say that these are going to be sneaker of the year. One, because they're a re-release. They're a sneaker that has already been released before. Yes, they updated it, but that's like saying a new iPhone update is the best iPhone ever. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. But what I'm trying to get through your head is sometimes you need innovation. Let's look at a new sneaker model, a new sneaker. But even ignoring the fact that this is a re-release, there are some people that are going to say the military blue Jordan 4 is the sneaker of the year. These are set to release May 2024, and they are rumored to be the sneaker of the year. They haven't been released since 2012, and this is probably the only true contender for sneaker of the year because every year they have to say a Jordan 4 is a sneaker of the year. In 2023, the Pine Green Jordan 4 was sneaker of the year. Now in 2024, we're saying that the Bread 4, the military blue 4, it always has to be 444. Like, are we at Wendy's or something, bro? I do not want chicken nuggets, a Big Mac, and some set of fries, bro. I'm good. Yes, I did say that they sell Big Macs at Wendy's. Get over it. Get out the comment section. The military blue 4, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I don't really like the color blue. I'm just be real with y'all. I mean, it's a cool color. I think dark blue works better than this light shade of blue. I mean, shout out to Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic Adventure 3 needs to come out soon. I know that's a random tangent, but we getting all these Sonic movies. Let's go ahead and re-release one of the greatest video games all time. Back to the facts, back to reigniting our... What you really have to ask yourself is like, one, what's the better base color, white or black? In my opinion, a lot of people are going to say black is better because it's easier to wear with certain fits. If it gets dirty, you don't have to worry about it. The stains won't show. A mostly white sneaker, it's going to get creased up and look nasty over time, depending on how you care for your sneakers, but that's personal based off your habits. Then, why I also have to ask myself is what's a better color, blue or red? Now, if you look at the Power Rangers, was the Blue Ranger ever the leader of the Power Rangers, go ahead, start from Mighty Morphin, make it Cosmic Fury. You will see that there are no Blue Ranger leaders. The Red Ranger was the leader of the Power Rangers, so we can't really claim that the military Blue 4 is going to be the best sneaker of the year. If you want my honest opinion, sarcasm aside, these are just two Jordan 4s at the end of the day. I don't really like either of them too much. I think they're great sneakers, but I do feel like there's something that's coming out this year that maybe hasn't been announced yet that might trump these. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy them for what they're worth. I don't think the sneaker of the year label is really that important. Like, what is that going to do for the culture? What is that going to do for sneakerheads by labeling sneakers as sneaker of the year? It's not going to bring down the price. It's not going to make the sneaker more accessible. It is an opinion. It is a subjective thing that isn't even like a widely accepted label. Like, even when you look at the Grammys, for example, not everybody agrees with what the Grammy says is album of the year, best rapper of the year, all these other categories. It's just a validation sticker. And honestly, we know Jordan Brand is trumping the sneaker game. Like, who's actually contending with Jordan? So do they really need the sneaker of the year label? Absolutely not. So hey, debate as much as you want. That's cool. Honestly, in my opinion, we got better things to focus on. We need to work on these resellers. We need to work on how we can create more equity in the sneaker game and help people get every sneaker that they want. But we don't want to focus on those issues. Let's just keep being hype beast and spending our money. Something else big happened this week as well. The Yeezy pods were released once again for 20 dineros. This is awesome. Kanye has this way of like really captivating and capturing people's attention. He had a $7 million Super Bowl ad, and he sold all his merchandise for $20 on the Yeezy website. You got Yeezy pods, Vultures merch, etc. And he made $19 million off this. And, you know, say what you will about Kanye, but we always go like cancel culture, but that really only lives in the moment, if that makes sense. Like, as long as like the hype and the anger is fueled and enraged, it's like then cancel culture is a thing. But once you step away from a situation for a period of time and let someone re-immerse themselves back in society, all that cancel culture stuff goes out the window. You can clearly see that. The man made $19 million off of $20 products. Like, do you know how many people have to give him $20 in order for him to make $19 million? All the people who were like, oh, I'm not wearing Yeezys anymore, I'm throwing these out, look where we at. Same thing with Balenciaga, bro. They had a whole scandal that just got brushed under the rug. Sometimes I feel like we live in such a reactionary world where we react to things so quickly and so aggressively. People never really stick to their boundaries and their mores. And, you know, it's consumerism, it's capitalism. That's the country we live in. That's the world we live in. Who cares? But back to the Yeezy pods. Like I said, Kanye has a way of really shocking people, making them angry and making them think and question things. And I think that really works well what his brand is. Oftentimes, you're going to see this usual trend when it comes to Kanye's merchandise. There's going to be hate. People are going to hate on it, call it stupid, ugly, trash. Ugh. Then they're going to love it. Then all of a sudden, when people start buying into the product, people have access to it. You see more people wearing it on social media. Then people are going to start adopting to it, loving it. Oh my God, this is so cool, futuristic. And then finally, people copy it. Everybody takes their design and makes it what their own. Like, I know Kanye was not the first person to come up with sneaker socks, but he will be the person that popularizes it. In a few days, you're going to see at Burlington Coat Factory, you're going to see some replica Yeezy pods being sold, and there's not going to be any type of lawsuit, copyright infringement whatsoever. Remember when Walmart was selling foam runners like no tomorrow right after the foam runners released too? Say what you will about Kanye West, but sometimes I look at things like this, the African cake. I don't know if you ever heard of this analogy before, but I'll put it on to you, bro. Like, I remember back in the olden days in Europe, you know what I mean? Everybody took a slice out of Africa, and the owners of Africa were not able to get a slice out of that pie, if you catch my drift. We see it happen with foam runners. We see it happen with Yeezy slides. We've seen it happen with 350s. In this too, this is proof that Kanye is capable of doing his own thing without Adidas. He actually had a meeting with the CEO of Adidas wearing black Air Forces. That's a bold move, but it shows that in this country, in this world, money is more powerful than anything, bro. Like I said, I'm not washing away anything that Kanye has said, done, etc. I'm looking at what I see. This is what I see and many other people see, that money can change a lot of opinions. This is proof, this is facts. You know, and I also think too, when we see what he did, right? He released a bunch of stuff for $20. Now, I'm not sure how long this merchandise will be available, but there are a lot of questions that arise when you look at the fact that he was able to sell sneakers, shirts, etc. for $20 and still make money. Like, why don't all the other companies do this? Is Nike capable of doing this? Do they have to sell Jordan 4s for $200? Are they able to sell it for less? And then two, these items were available for a long time. Let me just go to the Yeezy website and end the confusion right now. So a lot of the stuff is still available. This podcast is being recorded on February 17th, and you can still go on here and buy Yeezy Pods. So this shows me a lot. This shows me, one, that products can be widely available for anybody to purchase, right? And companies can still make money. So is there a need for these raffles, these queues, these limited releases, when obviously when you make something very accessible to the people, they're going to buy, they're going to support you, and then they're going to make money, right? Now, I know the potential argument you have is like, hey, they don't ship until 4 weeks. There might be shipping disasters. Maybe people won't get their products. But let's lean on the optimistic side. Let's say everybody does get what they ordered in a timely manner. This is proof that companies don't have to make things so restrictive and limited. Everybody can get what they want, and companies can still get paid, right? Look how low of a price point this thing is selling at, $20. And keep in mind, the Yeezy Pods originally sold for $200, and Kanye is refunding anybody who paid that price. He's giving them back the price difference. And also, I question this. I mean, eventually, after some point, like, they're gonna run out of stock, or maybe there's gonna be a pause in the releases to say, you know what I mean? Like, they can't have all this merchandise available forever and ever until the end of time. Like, eventually they're gonna shut down shop. Now I wonder, will this combat the resellers? Like, I know if you go on StockX right now, Yeezy Pods are selling for about $180. Now, granted, I think they're only able to sell them for that price point because of the fact that these haven't shipped yet. I'm sure once these ship and get into people's hands, the price will go down. Maybe if these things are still available, the resellers may not be able to resell them. But then too, I wonder if, let's say they aren't available, right? Will they have any resale value? You know, I think with the Kanye label, yes. I mean, if people really wanted to resell these in some years from now, they will have some value, just like all those old toys we used to have as a kid, like Pokemon baseball cards that were widely accessible at a period of time. But as time goes on, their value increases. So I guess what I'm really looking at is like the direct practice of, let me buy something as limited and resell it after the shop drop ends. That may not be a thing with all this Yeezy merch. And you know, this just bleeds into my next point about, like, are sneaker raffles even good for the sneaker culture? You know, I think one thing that makes sneakerheads feel good and builds up our confidence is being able to wear something that's exclusive or limited. You know, for some people, that's what really drives them. You know, that's what really gives them some type of, I don't know, connection with what they wear. It's like the fact that, hey, I'm wearing something that was limited, hard to get. I went through some hurdles to get it. I don't want to say they have this air of like, I feel better than you, but it does definitely make them feel like, hey, you know what? I earned this, all right? This is something I earned and I worked for. And then on the other hand, it's like, why is it necessary to have raffles for, once again, something that is man-made? Like, these things are made in factories. There are people that build them. If they wanted to make more of these sneakers, all they have to do is give the green light to the factories, and then they're going to be made. It's not like they're using like rare vibranium that only comes about once a year to make all these shoes. So in some ways, like, yes, I think raffles are necessary because they keep the culture on its toes, per se. Like, we're always anticipating the next drop. Like, imagine if you were always able to get every sneaker that you wanted. You really wouldn't care when one dropped, because it's like, oh, I can just wait until it releases or wait until the price drops. You see that happen with a lot of quote unquote bricks. I look at it from an equity point. Like, is it fair that someone has to go through all these loops and hurdles just to get a sneaker? You know what I mean? Like, it'd be nice if after a certain point, you know, these sneaker apps are like, hey, you've taken 4 L's. I guarantee you the next sneaker that drops is going to be your W, you know? But then you're going to have a lot of people that enter into raffles that hope to get L's, so that way when, like, let's say a Travis Scott drops and it's their 5th L, that's their guaranteed. So it's hard to look at this because you have to look at it from, one, the perspective of a consumer, then from the perspective of the creator. You know, it's the fact that, like, hey, I need to keep my product valuable, so I am going to limit it. And I get that. I get that to an extent. And then two, this is just an idea I thought, like a solution. Like, should there be like a course for sneakers? I know it sounds weird, but like, should you have to do something in order to earn certain sneakers? Like, you know, a lot of sneakerheads, they are like knowledgeable. I know people who could be professors in this stuff. Like, they could teach college classes about sneakers, the history, who wore what when and why they wear it, all that stuff. So It'd be nice if, like, hey, for certain shoes, like, hey, if you complete this course and you prove your knowledge and your expertise in this area, like, we're gonna guarantee that you get this sneaker. Maybe you gotta pass the test to wear the drip, who knows? But then I think a lot of people have backlash towards that because a lot of people have backlash to skateboard boutiques requiring people to do certain skateboard tricks like a kickflip in order to buy sneakers, like you don't have to shoot a 3-point shot in order to wear basketball sneakers. So there are a lot of different angles to analyze this argument from, so it's really difficult to come up with one definitive answer about what is best for the culture, but it's just something to think about. And here's a fun one I just want to drop on your head. This news was released today. Your boy Donald Trump is going to a sneaker convention, and political stuff aside, because I really don't care who you vote for. Do what you want. It's your right to vote. It's your right not to vote. Do whatever you choose is best for your life and the people around you. However, this is interesting. A presidential candidate is going to SneakerCon, and I just wonder, what is his motive for doing this? Is he trying to get sneakerheads to vote for him? Is this his way of connecting with the younger crowd? Is Donald Trump a true sneakerhead? He is a businessman at the end of the day, so I wonder what's gonna come from all this. I mean, just some memes. I think it's his way of like, this is gonna create some controversy within like TikTok and younger spaces. So I really do think that's the reason why he's doing it. It's very strategic, I'll admit. As a whole, when it comes to sneaker culture, I don't think this is gonna have too many big implications on, sneakerheads and how we do things, but it's definitely gonna be meme worthy, and it's definitely gonna be something that we look back on, but we're gonna see what happens, right? And music news, right? Kanye West released his first Vultures album. I have not listened to the whole thing yet, I'll admit. But what does this mean for sneakers and culture? Touched on this before, I'll touch on it again. Like I said, cancel culture is as effective as the people who are implementing it. I think at the end of the day, people were so consumeristic that we just like products and we want products. And, I don't care what egregious thing somebody has done. If they're a celebrity, there's going to be somebody that supports them and their work. I have noticed that there has been like an uprise in Yeezys. People feel like wearing their Yeezys again. People feel like it's cool to wear Yeezys again. Like I touched on earlier, this is proof that Kanye can do things without the backing of the big conglomerates. He can do things independently, which is cool. I always try to tie this back to you and your life. I don't know what your dreams are. You can honestly start making your dreams a reality today if you wanted to. You do not need to wait on somebody else to give you the green light. You don't need to wait for somebody to give you the thumbs up. You don't need any business to invest in your ideas. Whatever idea you have that you want to share to the world, I highly encourage you, start sharing it, start promoting it. The beauty about the world that we live in today with social media is the fact that you can create a business off your phone. You can start today promoting something, giving it a shot, meeting and interacting with people. You don't need anybody to give you a push. Just like with this album. Yeah, Kanye's cut some corners because he sampled music that he probably shouldn't have sampled, but still, I mean, if you do things truly independent without the use of anybody else's stuff, which, when you're starting out might be a little difficult, but all I'm trying to get you to think is like, don't wait on anybody to give you the okay to start doing what you want to do, because you should just start now, right? Go ahead, start being great today. Don't wait until tomorrow to start living your dreams. I want you to start right now. And that brings us into the best segment of today's podcast. What's in the box? What is in this box, right? This is a Fragment 1 high box. Travis Scott, Fragment 1's one of the most coveted, replicated, awesome sneakers of all time. So let's go ahead and unbox these bad boys. Boom. Yes, people. Fragrances. Now, I'm not a fragrance king, but there's something I just want to put on your head today, because what is in the box are some beautiful men's fragrances. Ladies, you guys, I love it when y'all wear perfume too. I'm just not a perfume wearer, ladies, but pretend like these were perfumes if you need me to. Let me talk about why I decided to go ahead and put some fragrances in today's box, right? Everybody knows what fragrances are: cologne, perfume. They're essential for any adult. If you want to improve your confidence, your appeal to potential partners, or just your air in the room, your aura in the room, I should say, or the aroma that you have in the room, you should definitely wear colognes. And right here, I have some colognes, 3 different types, 3 different brands, right? You got Evictus, you got Alt Fragrances, and you got Frederic Motley Portrait Relay. The reason why I chose these 3 to highlight in today's video, not to sell them to you, right? Although these are all great scents, I just want to put something in your head. What I love to do is I love to go into Sephora and just smell different scents, right? That is a great way. If you're unsure of what scent to buy, you can just go in Sephora, spray it on a stick, spray it on yourself, and just smell it, get a good feel for it. I like going to Sephora to smell these things because they're not going to have somebody who's pressuring you into buying stuff, and you won't feel bad smelling a bunch of scents because it's busy enough in there where somebody may approach you, but they're not going to try to sell something to you because they have other things to attend to. So that's how I actually found out about this Invictus Paco Rabanne, a lovely scent. I like it. I like citrus tone stuff. That's something I'm going to highlight in a minute. You got this, Alt Fragrances, Fireside Marshmallow. This is a beautiful winter scent. It's just delicious. I gotta be honest with y'all. Love it. Love it. The ladies love it too. Then you got Frederick Molly, Portrait of a Lady, right? So this isn't really about the scents, but mainly how you can find scents. So I got this off of eBay. I got this from TJ Maxx, and I got this off of eBay as well, right? What I want to give you guys a tip is, like, if you're unsure of whether you're going to like a scent or not, go to Sephora, try it out. If you're unsure about how much you should pay for it and how much you want to invest in it, get a small sample size off of eBay. Now, a full bottle of this is like $400. And I'm not trying to spend $400 right now. I'm still in the come up phase. But this was $50. And I know it's a lot for a small bottle, but you can get other samples like Chanel Blue, Dior Sauvage, etc. for 20 bottles. And you can get like a decent little, spray that may last you like a month or 2 depending on how often you use it. Those are great ways to like get into the fragrance game without spending a bunch of money. And the key with fragrances, in my opinion, is versatility, right? You can spend $120 on something, right, and wear it all the time, and it's not going to have the same effect because people are so used to it. What I want you guys to start doing is switching things up, wear different fragrances, and don't feel like you have to break the budget. I got this at TJ Maxx for $20, bro, and it smells amazing. If you know what type of fragrances or the fragrance notes that you like, citrus, cedar, lavender, leather, if you know what you gravitate towards usually, you can just go on Reddit or go on some website and just figure out what the fragrance notes are of a fragrance and just buy it. Because sometimes, like in TJ Maxx, they'll be locked up. You can't smell it, or a Ross, wherever. But I've been doing this for the past 6 months now, and I've built up a great collection. So I'm encouraging you to switch up your fragrance game and try something new. Don't feel like money is the ultimate like determinant of the value of a fragrance, because you don't have to spend a bunch of money to get what you like. There's just some fun facts for y'all. But that is it for today's podcast. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, supporting the shoebox. We made it to episode 3. That's a big accomplishment, y'all. I have been doing this for the past month and a half now, and it's been amazing. I feel like I improve every time I do it, and I just like to leave y'all with a little mental note. If you made it this far into the podcast, achieve your dreams, be consistent. I've been consistent at this, and I've improved every single time, and I love getting on here and just sharing this love that we have over the culture with y'all. And I want you to continue to be great. We're almost in March. We're a quarter of the way into the year. How are your goals? How are you holding yourself accountable? And who are you trying to be by 2025? I'm going to leave y'all with that. I wish that you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.